about this? Or you
Okay.
just snowballing?
Ready? All right, this just came in.
Go ahead.
It's on Fox News, so it's got to
Fox
be true.
News.
I don't know how much stock I put in any of the media companies right now, but
Okay, this is
it says
breaking news.
Elon Musk's second installment of the Twitter files.
Okay, go right ahead.
It reveals secret blacklists.
Okay.
One of the persons that is on the secret blacklist, and it has pictures of him. Recent abuse strike active, trends blacklist, strike count. They have like their own software that would show up. So it would take this person's name. For an example, Dan Bongino off of Fox News. He was on a search blacklist.
Search, yeah. No,
So if you tried to
go
find
any
him,
further or couldn't find him at all.
yeah, one or the other, or you could find him, but that was you would literally have to search for him.
And this is what two or three of how many?
Oh man,
This is
the list is
this
probably,
is just unfolding.
yeah, the list is probably
Yeah,
enormous.
it's getting crazy.
Right, so they would shadow ban. Well, in 2018, Twitter said themselves, and this is a quote, "We do not shadow ban, and we certainly do not shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology."
What the hell? What do they got another name for what
So
they were
honestly,
doing then?
yeah,
or
these
what?
people need to go to jail for what they did. I think they should go to prison.
There's another name for what they're doing. What they were
so
doing.
like a good example is that Dr. J. Bacharera. I can't say his name.
It
It's
doesn't
so
matter.
freaking long and wow. It's a doctor name.
Okay, go ahead, John.
He would argue about COVID lockdowns would harm children, which it has. And Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. So nobody
Because his opinion didn't matter.
they didn't
according
want that
to
going
Twitter.
out. That and the government at the
I
time.
think we've come to the conclusion that the lockdowns were ineffective anyway, right?
Yeah, I think so.
There you go.
Charlie Kirk, he was on the list. He was one of the guys was really adamant about lockdowns and COVID and stuff, and he was on the do not amplify list. So he couldn't amplify his voice on Twitter by any means, which I'm not sure how that works anyway, but you know, this it's a mess. I'm sorry, but all those people who did that, they should be, I don't know what kind of charges you could bring against them, but you should definitely bring some kind of charges against these people, even though I don't know what they would be. I'm not an attorney, but they should definitely figure out something because it is so wrong on so many levels that nobody on the planet should be able to do this kind of thing.
I agree totally.
You know, it's one of those things, right? So let me give you a good analogy, right?
What do you got?
All right, so horrible things have happened in my life, right?
Horrible.
To people I know, which would be to me.
To everybody.
Right? So people sit there and they say, and this is just my opinion, and just take it for what it's worth, right? It's just an opinion.
All right, I'm with you.
People go, you know, how could God let that happen? How could this happen? How could God let that happen?
If there was a God, how could this
So
happen?
here's my
Go
my
ahead.
thought on that, right?
Okay.
So you can't have partial free will. So God gave everybody free will, right? You have free will.
That's part of the That's part of the.
So what they're asking for is partial free will, and there's no such thing as a partial free will. You either have free will or you don't.
Who's asking for partial free will?
So if you sit there and you say, well, how could you let this happen, God? Right?
Oh, they want to pick and choose.
Right. And it doesn't work that way.
I
You either have
understand
free
what
will
you're
or you
saying.
don't. Right?
Yeah.
So we're not living in the Garden of Eden.
No,
you know,
not anymore.
we have free will.
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
we got free will.
So in return, God was like, I'm going to back away, and whatever happens, happens. That's free will.
Yeah, that's free
Right?
will. Okay, go ahead.
So free speech. Can't have partial free speech. You either have free speech.
It's either there or it's not there. There's no gray area.
There's no gray area.
There's no gray area.
Right?
there.
The only gray area with me with free speech is if you say you're going to cause somebody bodily harm.
Or mass disturbance of some sort.
Bodily harm. You're going to
Like,
physically hurt somebody.
Yeah, you can't
Can't do that.
What was the example they always? You can't run into movie theater and yell fire.
Right. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
No.
So,
right. I got, yeah,
you
I
know,
understand.
partial speech, you can't have partial free speech. You either have free speech or you don't. And if you don't, then we go down the road where, you know, we'll be a socialist country. And I don't want to be in a socialist country. I don't think you do either.
No.
So,
No, I don't.
you know, something needs done to these people because they deliberately, they do it
Well,
on
they could have
purpose.
possibly even altered the outcome of the 2020 election.
I think they did.
They could have.
absolutely.
I mean, it needs to be said.
I think
It's
they
just the
did.
way it is.
Oh, yeah, I think they did.
Information suppressed, evidence withheld. I mean, they could have very well altered the outcome of the
Yeah, I think they did.
2020 election.
So, you know, and the poor guy who ran Twitter, which was Jack Dorsey, he was a CEO before Elon Musk. Actually, he was the founder. He was the original founder of Twitter.
Okay.
So whenever that stuff was going on and they were actually doing this to users, you know, who they didn't agree with, like,
Right.
conservative users, people who were talking about the pandemic, and they modified them, he didn't even know. So I feel bad for Jack Dorsey. Like, he's the head of the company. Like, if you're going to do something, you need to tell the man. Like, it needs to be approved. Companies are not, how do you put it? Companies
So
are
the cover up was behind.
companies
this.
are almost
So you're saying he
paramilitary.
didn't know anything about
He
what
didn't
was
know a
going
thing.
on
Then nobody
within
told
his
him.
own company that he was running.
Nobody told him. So, and companies, in my mind, they're paramilitary companies. Like, they really are paramilitary, not full military, but paramilitary. Yeah, all companies are like that. The owner, you know, everything.
I got you.
Everything
I know
goes
where
through
you're
the
going.
owner, the
Yes.
CEO, whoever.
I got you.
You know, and so for those people to do that and take that upon themselves to modify free speech.
Well, they did modify it.
Yeah, I said to modify. They modified free speech.
Absolutely, without
So-
question.
Something needs to be done to those people who did that because it is absolutely wrong. I mean, it really is.
I'm in agreement with you, buddy.
And then when you sit here and you pull it up, so
Go ahead. You can.
yeah, I can pull
Let's
it
have
up.
a look. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what we got.
Working on that.
I got you.
It only takes a minute.
I understand.
Right there it is.
Twitter Files Part 2. Elon Musk second installment.
Right there it is.
Reveals secret blacklist. Barry Weiss
I mean, it's
reports.
just- It's absolutely unbelievable. So when you go down here and you look, right?
Go ahead.
Well, where did it go?
I was there. It's right there.
So they'll have like every user, it looks like, had like a little thing on it that would say, you know, active, recent abuse strike, trends blacklist,
Right.
strike count. You know, I guess on, you know, things they said that they didn't like, which, you know, that's freaking horrible.
No, it didn't. It wasn't in alignment with
It's freaking
the
horrible
agenda,
what
their
they
political
did.
beliefs.
I mean, this is horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I never thought this would be an issue. In
And
my
this is
lifetime.
just getting started.
So,
This
like,
is just getting started.
So, like, I mean, I'm for a whole lot of stuff. You know, I'm for most things don't make me angry. They don't make me angry at all. You know, you can sit there and say
It's
whatever,
almost expected nowadays.
you know, but you can't. It takes a lot to get me angry.
It's almost expected nowadays anyway. In
There
this day
is.
and age, there's always
The
there's always some kind of drama someday.
But the great thing about this country is you can say whatever it is you want as long as you're not threatening bodily harm
Right,
or threatening property damage.
right.
You can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're passionate about.
Yep,
And here's the thing.
I agree.
If a guy's standing, a guy, girl, whatever, standing over here, doesn't like it, that's still that person's right to say all those things.
I
So if you
understand.
don't like it, you just walk away, leave. You don't have to listen to it,
I
right?
understand.
You don't. So I think we, you know, in the whole, I don't even know what you call it, time we're in now, the freaking pansy ass world we live in, where
Okay.
people's feelings get hurt over everything.
Oh,
You know what I
my
mean? Like, I'm not
God,
here
I
to
know.
watch out for
I
you.
don't know. I don't think it's a very good time to be a comedian nowadays.
No,
I
I'm not
mean,
here to
my
watch
God,
it.
you'll get butchered and
Yeah, I'm not here to watch out
tore
for you.
apart, with the woke movement. That you can't, nothing's ever funny anymore. It's,
Yeah, I'm not sitting here watching out for your feelings by what it is I say. If you don't like what it is I say,
you don't have to be here.
you don't have to listen
You don't have
to
to
it.
listen to it.
You know what I mean? Walk away.
I mean,
Go somewhere else.
I agree.
Or be like, hey, look, if we're sitting actually in close proximity, hey, look, sir, I'm sorry, but that offends me. And be like, look, hey, thanks for letting me know.
You start messing with free speech, and
Yeah, then we don't have a country.
then we're in trouble.
Oh, it's
We're
horrible.
in trouble.
It's horrible, dude. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine a life without free speech. You imagine that? I can't imagine that. I can't even believe we're talking about that right now.
I mean,
Ain't
we
that
live in a
bad?
time right now where there are people that if you do not agree with what they think or how they think something should be,
Yeah,
they don't want to even be associated with you. They don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, I think it's
And
horrible.
I'm sorry, I can't base my friends on
No,
political views,
no.
but they need to have their right to say whatever they believe.
Absolutely, they do.
So,
So I have friends that don't have the same like you and I. We're not the same when it comes to
Oh,
political
no.
views.
No,
You're way
we-
conservative, and I'm not. And then there's friends of mine who are way more liberal than me. So, but you know what? We all get along.
I get along with you just
know what I
fine. You believe what you're going to believe, and no matter what I say or do, I'm not going to change your mind anyway.
No,
I'm
So-
not going to change it.
no. And it's one of
You're
those
going to believe
things
what
where
you believe.
I'm not also.
I
I'm
might
not-
make fun of you for it.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to push it on people. Like, that's my belief. I'm not going to push what I believe on you.
No,
You believe
and
what
I
you
wouldn't
want.
expect of you, and nor would I, and nor should you get angry because you can't change my point of view.
Correct.
And people do.
Oh,
and, And then this is where you get the big money wanting to block what people have to say.
No, I agree with that. They do. But I also think,
They did. Twitter.
but yeah, oh yes, they did.
They did.
But I also think it's more, you should, at some point, you have to take ownership of you.
Well, I believe that most of them got fired, did they not?
No, well, yeah, they all did. Thank God. But
Yeah,
imagine if
they're
it had
gone.
kept going.
Well, yeah. Imagine if he wouldn't. Imagine if the deal wouldn't have went through and he wouldn't have acquired the company in
Right?
the first
Nobody would ever know
place.
this. So what about the other ones? What about,
Oh, there's more.
Facebook?
What about what's to come?
what about Facebook? What about Instagram? What about, and I would hope.
You got to understand, Phil. One post on a social media site can alter an entire situation.
Oh, absolutely. You can.
It can alter an entire society. One post,
Oh, yeah, it can.
one false post led by another can incite. It can incite. It can insinuate. It can.
Fake news.
It can what?
Fake news.
Fake news. What is fake news?
You know what I mean? So,
But it can alter an entire society.
oh, it can.
So
Twitter did.
to think that suppressing somebody's thought or their Twitter,
They should not be allowed to do that.
they,
The only thing they
you
should,
can't tell me that didn't alter something
Oh, of
in the
course it
course of
did.
time.
So in my point of view, is the only thing social media should alter would be if you're going to cause bodily harm to someone or property. Everything else, free game. It's free speech. You can say whatever you want. That's just how it is.
I understand.
It's been like that forever. Just because people grew a whole bunch of feelings, people back in the day, 1950 had them same feelings. What's the difference? You know what I mean? No?
Yeah.
What's the difference? They had the same feelings.
They did.
So all of a sudden now, because you get your feelings hurt or you don't like what he's saying, or man, it's hate speech. Yeah, I don't care. He still has a right to say that.
They have a right to do.
They still have a
say
right to
whatever
do
they
that.
want.
I may
do,
not
but
agree with
you
it,
don't have to listen to
and
it.
I don't. But you know what? I don't have to listen to it. Neither do you.
No, I don't.
Have a, be an adult, right? Be an
Yeah, I
adult,
mean-
dude. Be a fucking adult.
Well, it's about time. It's about time for a lot of these folks, these Karens, to grow up. I'm sorry, but it's about time.
It is. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you could, go to YouTube, subscribe, and like it on Facebook and everything else. Thanks.